Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LTA. It's day 2 of week 2 of split 2, and we're here ready to jump into the first game of the day. I'm Captain Flowers, joined by Kobe for these first couple of games. We got 100 Thieves going up against Disguised to kick today off. And man, I think both of these teams really want to rebound after yesterday's matches.
100% agree. Let's get into the action immediately as we're jumping into that pick and ban phase. And a lot of discussion, has been about the top lane. Castle, best performing player for Disguise, and Sniper, probably one of the areas that most teams are prepping for to attack on 100 Thieves. I did like, when he pulled out his little pocket pick ribbon, although since then, a couple of losses racked up for 100 Thieves is kind of why you're talking about bouncing back there. Yeah. We'll see if they can actually do that. Securing the Varus is always super big, of course. That is our, primary AD carry on the batch. Getting that for FBI so he can be comfortable is quite nice. But interesting little Neeko pick here to kind of steal it a little bit away from a strong pairing with the Varus, but also add some versatility on Disguise.
And in these first 6 bans, a ton of focus on solo lanes. Rumble, Jace, Akali, Gwen, Yone, Vi. Only one of those champions not a solo laner, in the Vi being prioritized there to remove that from the jungle pool. Over on Disguised, Neeko and Sejuani, plenty of CC, plenty of control there. Back on 100 Thieves, they're going to be fast to lock in the Gnar for Sniper.
Okay, blind Gnar here for Sniper. Feels confident in it versus Castle. Castle, whenever you think about him too, the primary ban is the Jace. That has been his favorite champion, his most successful champion. And so Sniper just feels like, yeah, if he doesn't have the Jace, if he doesn't have the Rumble, then I'm good on Gnar. He won't go for any like crazy hard counter picks towards the top side of the map. And here we go, Quid on Sylas. That's what a lot of people like to see. Quid has just been so good, especially this and even last split, 400 Thieves. So see if he can keep that up.
Even though 100 Thieves is off to a 1-2 start, I still believe that Quid is one of, if not the best mid laner in the league. I think that putting this guy on something that can really pop off and carry the game, absolutely the recipe for success if they want to start coming back a little bit from these past couple of losses.
Okay, so Castle decides to pick up the Ambessa into the Gnar here to have some synergy with the Sejuani. Looking for some of that kill threat. This is definitely one of the champions that can proc it very quickly. You go for these kill combos. Sejuani can set up Ambessa ultimate really nicely. So very dangerous skirmish that Disguise have been able to draft for themselves. Castle and eXyu is one of the pairings everyone's looking at to try and get some footing here in these games for Disguise, and we'll see what the response is. They're going to deny at least the Xin Zhao away from River.
Now, you're talking about skirmishing, and I feel like not just with the picks, but I want to see it in their attitude. I want to see it in their play style. I think yesterday we didn't really see Disguise looking for a whole lot of anything on the map. They seemed pretty lost. So hopefully with these types of picks, with this skirmishing style that you're talking about, we'll get to see a more active game out of them. We've got the Nefiri and the Xin Zhao banned out by Disguise, so double jungle ban here in the second half. Over on 100 Thieves, double 80 carry ban, removing that Kalista that's often banned out in the first half of the draft, alongside the Ezreal, keeping that one away from ScaryJerry. Remember that in Disguised's best game so far, the one that they had against FlyQuest, Jerry on that Ezreal certainly had his best performance in the LTA so far.
100% agree, so good denial there again. And we are going to get, it looks like, a couple split push options here. The Ryze has been so popular after the Rod of Ages little mix-up on the build path to allow him to build that a lot easier with the Ruby Crystals, but honestly, I don't know, it's a little bit dangerous. It does gives you a lot of split pushing options for later, but there's so many things that can provide some problems here to arise. So let's see. I mean, the Karma plus the Varus is going to be a strong lane regardless of what ScaryJerry ends up locking in. Yeah. And then Jarvan is definitely one of River's most iconic champs here. Very mobile and definitely can put a lot of threat back there. I mean, the Ryze, I don't know. We'll see if he actually gets a lot of split push done.
I mean, remember back when River joined the league a couple of years ago, Jarvan was like the champion for him, right? It was what, like 6 or 7 games of just Jarvan, really popping off on this. I love to see him back on the champ. I think he's great on these really active junglers, on these playmakers. Meanwhile, back over on Disguise, final pick of the draft, the Jhin for ScaryJerry.
Okay, and pick is a key word, Flowers, there, because yeah, there's a lot of utility from that bottom lane with the Jhin and the Neeko, a lot of CC. But I think that this Disguise lineup is going to have to make a lot of picks in this game to actually find success with this composition. 100 Thieves, I mean, you talk about fighting, they love skirmishing, and they have drafted a very, very, very good team fighting team here for themselves. Very comfortable champions. Quite strong lanes as well. I would expect 100 Thieves to try and put a bit more pressure towards mid lane early on with Jarvan ganking for Sylas. That is a dream pairing right there. Jarvan gank for Sylas, especially against something like a Ryze. Meanwhile, we'll see how much value they can get out of this Sejuani plus Ambessa combination. Or if it's just like, hey, we got to play off Jhin and Neeko CC, you know, make this worthwhile.
Well, Disguise still looking for that first win of Split 2 here so far. I'm a little bit torn where I stand overall here with the team because I think at the end of week number 1, we definitely saw their best game yet in terms of the matchup against FlyQuest, especially when you consider that most people have FlyQuest as the top team in the league. But then yesterday's game really felt like a regression. They felt really lost. We didn't get to see a whole lot out of them. So I'm hoping today we get a little bit more of that inspired type of play, not the player, but like, you know, the word itself, inspired. that inspired gameplay from Disguise that we got to see against FlyQuest, where they really looked like they had a plan and they were making some moves.
All right, well, they're looking like they're going for the invade early, so they've got a plan, Flowers.
Okay.
And they are making the moves.
Let's see it. They're making it moves.
As soon as you ask for it, here we go. They go for the invade. Sweeper utilized there by huhi, and they'll at least get in here for the Raptor ward.
Okay, 100 Thieves, though, just walking over top of that ward, placed down by Disguised in the little tiny pixel brush there in the bottom side river. And doesn't look like we're probably going to get a whole lot of anything. Comet on both Varus and Karma to just add to that oppression in the bottom lane that these two are going to try to exert early on. The constant poke, the constant harass, the long-range damage. Of course, you already mentioned Jhin and Neeko, though. If eXyu can get down there on Disguised side, play around these guys, make the ganks happen, and they can land the CC, there is a lot of opportunity to try to punish what should be an aggressive lane of Varus and Karma.
Yeah, it's just hard because you're facing into the cleanse on Varus is one thing, but Karma, the speed ups are really annoying too, and can allow you to work around a lot of this Neeko and Jhin utility. So we'll see how well they actually play it early on. As you mentioned, the double comments, tracking how much poke damage can get down there. But eXyu early here off of the invade wants to continue.
Going in towards the enemy red buff. River has already cleared that out. River still working on these Krugs. Will secure the large one at least before the Sejuani can show up. Okay, full camp cleared by the Jarvan, and you can see eXyu on the chicken camp just trying to steal those away. River is going to be wise to it, and eXyu cannot clear anything from this camp before he's forced to retreat. So this ultimately just results in a lot of time wasted for eXyu.
Yeah, their idea. So they had the deeper ward that was on the Raptors, and he thought, I believe he thought that the Jarvan maybe started on the top side because they didn't know that he started on the red, and so slipped in there, checked the red, nothing there, try and go for the Raptors, nothing there, and it just, even the best laid plans, they didn't have full coverage there, and they kind of made some erroneous assumptions. So it does waste some time there for him, but not too detrimental quite yet.
Okay. Yeah, he's right. He's back into his own jungle, farming up the chicken camp there, moving on to the Krug second.
I mean, River's not going to let him get away with it, though.
Yeah.
River's like, okay, I'm going to come to your red, and he just drops this ward over Krug, so does have the extra info.
Okay, you could see right there his icon jumped forward, so he tried to go for the eXyu combo on eXyu, who was passing through. Now River going to go ahead, feel comfortable starting up that red buff as Eyla forced to get out of danger down here against huhi and ScaryJerry. That flash already spent. FBI having to use his flash now too. 100 Thieves, 2 flashes down here in the bottom lane. ScaryJerry using his as well. So the only flash remaining in this 2v2 on huhi's Neeko.
Yeah, interesting. FBI holds the cleanse on that one, and then in the face of so much damage, ends up having to burn even more with those longer flash cooldowns, plus the heal use from Eyla, and now tremendous pressure mounting as the wave is coming in. So backing up a little bit here, denied one of the melee last hits at the very least.
Ooh, Quid's very low here in the mid lane on the Sylas versus the early Ryze from Abbedagge. huhi backing up a little bit as the piercing arrow charges up. FBI is going to whiff on that one, but Disguise doing a nice job down here in the bottom lane, trying to put the pressure on after blowing those summoner spells. First teleport from the solo lane is going to occur now as Quid returns back to mid lane. Abbedagge now going to take the opportunity, go ahead, recall, restore that mana, do the same thing.
I want to point out that eXyu's objective in this game, tracking River, he went back in to place fresh wards on the Raptor brush yet again to further try and keep track of this Jarvan. So really trying his best, although falling behind in CS because of the extra time going for the blue to red invade cross there that he did go for, and not getting a lot out of it quite yet. So I'm still looking at, can the Jarvan go to Quid's lane here? Put some extra pressure on this Ryze, because Quid, we were talking about how well he's been performing. Abbedagge has kind of been the opposite side of the spectrum. So I want to see if he can have a better game for himself this time around. And Jarvan is one of the perfect champions to go blow a Ryze flash.
Oh yeah, especially with that first purchase. 3 longswords in the inventory for extra damage on the Dragon Strike. When this guy comes in for the gank, it is going to hurt wherever he arrives, as we do have the kind of delayed lane swap type of state that we're seeing a lot these days. Before first grub spawn at 6 minutes, the bot lane duos swap up to the top side so their teams can have extra pressure to contest those grubs, and it just means that Sniper and Castle are going to be moved down to the other side of the map. Important to note, though, that Sniper has already used his teleport. Castle has not. Big advantage there for Disguise, and I feel like they've got to be confident with that moving towards these grubs here in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, let's see about the approach, because River's here early and he has control over the brush that has the good view of them. He's actually going to come up here as well, so we have a bit of a party.
Ooh, ScaryJerry in some danger now, though. He can't get away from this. River applies the combo. Piercing arrow flying through. First blood over to FBI. River continuing the chase now as huhi and eXyu try to get away. ScaryJerry too far forward. Gets caught out by the Karma binding. Immediately bursts down, and 100 Thieves is first on the board.
Yeah, Flowers, again, it's these small little information misses where eXyu was in the lane brush. So the Sejuani's here in lane brush, and he's prepping for danger coming straight from the tower. Well, let's take a look at the grubs first before we go over the previous play, as eXyu wants to use his smite here. Oh, couldn't quite get it down to 600.
It needs a little bit more damage before it can happen, but now Quid's making his way into the fight. Quid is way too far forward. He's going to be killed. Surely, yes, Abbedagge grabbing that kill, but it's traded back immediately as Abbedagge falls right next to Quid. Both mid laners down. 100 Thieves ready to scrap in this one.
Yeah, running straight into that one. It looks like because of that, though, River and 100 Thieves go right back on these grubs. He doesn't want to have to use his smite on the first one early.
Oh, got it. Nicely done there. That's 2-0 on the first set of grubs for 100 Thieves. Can they get this third one? Void grub slain there by ScaryJerry, as Eyla now again using that binding. You got some trouble for River, getting caught out, flashing over the wall to stay alive.
Jhin damage, the extra advantage in this smite fight over the last one. It is a key denial, Flowers. Getting that grub stolen away denies the progression towards your feats of strength. But still, 100 Thieves with a very good position in this game. huhi tries to steal away more, but River still able to secure.
Yep, River with that smite guarantees that he not only locks up the gold and the EXP from the Gromp, but critically that EXP puts him at level 6. We know that Jarvan with ulti is a massive power point here for playmaking, but let's take another look at the replay and how everything went down here in the River.
Yeah, so eXyu wanted to try and get this one down to 600 so he could smite it, but Abbedagge in the middle of the River, so Quid goes straight for him, but he got rooted up and then followed up there by eXyu, so good kind of CC chain from Disguised, the mid lane, and jungle to at least get that kill first, but in the end, it was traded right back immediately, and Abbedagge taken down himself. Big thing, of course, is that Quid actually used Flash, as Abbedagge still has his there for the Ryze, so even though Jarvan now has ultimate, which is the big thing that you want to go for the pressure. Let's see about this roam bottom.
Okay, Sniper in a little bit of danger here, already using the Mega Gnar. Castle has to retreat now as he's got the turret aggro. Another shot flies out, and it's Castle who takes more damage than anybody. Abbedagge taking a lot of damage to his own health bar as he tries to pass through the enemy jungle to join up with the rest of his team, but ultimately Disguised's attempts fall flat.
Yeah, immediately there. You see the Jarvan ult used on the Ryze. Ryze flash goes poof. Now it could be a repeat target there. But like you're saying, the repercussions could be on the other side of the map too. You know, teleport used up to the top side there for Castle, wants to be able to farm that up while the rest of the team goes for this Mountain Drake. And even though Mountain Drake is a very healthy Drake, takes a bit longer to take, they should still be able to secure it after their attempt.
He's a very robust Drake.
The most robust.
Yeah, takes very good care of himself, always in shape, but unfortunately not strong enough to deal with this guy, so they will lock up that objective for themselves. Since the first set of grubs were split, that is the first neutral objective that is going to count towards feats of strength. Secured therefore Disguised, huhi, ScaryJerry, and eXyu once again looking for Sniper. Still in mini Gnar form, but he has a lot of the Gnar bar charged. eXyu flies in, but he misses the Sejuani ulti. Beautifully played from Sniper, using the hop to jump over eXyu as well and make his escape. He makes Disguised look foolish.
Yep, very nicely done from him on that side. And then the opposite side of the map, I don't think they're gonna catch it.
Nice job from Eyla, flashing forward to guarantee that he interrupts the recall before Castle can get away. River wanted to make sure that there was no chance Castle was taking a long way home either. Castle trying to get out there with a public execution, but it ain't gonna matter because the feat of warfare is secured with that kill, and FBI got paid.
Yeah, that's FBI's third kill, all three of them into the poke Varus, which he loves playing, will be very fed early on to get the early lethality spikes here on this champion, get the poke damage operational so early on, means they can just siege up repeatedly here, and as long as they're able to avoid the snap plays, which, you know, this hard engage from DSG, it's all about, you know, getting either a flank or getting, you know, some sneaky Neeko play to be able to combo with Sejuani and Ambessa ultimates for an engage. If they can avoid that kind of dire situation, then they should be able to get a lot of value there with Varus and Karma Poke.
This is almost a 2,000 gold lead at 11 minutes, man. This is like really good if you're a 100 Thieves fan, and this is so concerning for Disguised.
Yeah, I mean, FBI's got his Ghost Blade already. He is king of the mid lane at the moment, so they plant him there, able to get down a decent amount of pressure, getting their solo lanes out to the split push. 1-3-1 setup here as we are looking towards our grubs. This is the key moment for Disguised. Can they get the big engage? Abbedagge does have Realm Warp ready for the Ryze from the top side to be able to join from a different angle if they want to. Sniper has teleport advantage though, so yeah. DSG have to be so careful since Castle cannot follow. Castle would have to just like full send to try and interrupt the teleport if they wanted to do something. And it looks like they've made the call, hey, this we do not want to do anything. It's way too risky. Can't keep track of Sniper and that teleport, so River's just going to collect.
And Castle, without even having public execution recharged yet from when he tried to use it to escape up top, not a great situation as Abbedagge defensive Realm Warp to escape from Quid. And it's like with the first set of grubs, the teleport advantage was for Disguised, but then they end up losing out on what that would have got them anyway because ScaryJerry gets picked. The second set of grubs, the tables are turned. 100 Thieves are the one with teleport advantage. Disguised can't make any sort of a similar pick, so then 100 Thieves just get to take all three grubs for free.
And now your mid lane priority is leaking over to the top side, so 100 Thieves will be able to get this top turret. The communication with Sniper, though, should also be there for 100 Thieves to say, hey, your weak side looks like He's going to try and outplay as Gnar, get all of the minions down, and he is fine as well. 100 Thieves winning all sides of the map.
I feel like I'm watching reruns of the same episode, Kobe. Every single time, Disguise putting multiple players down here in the bottom lane, trying to put the pressure on Sniper, see if they can find a play. And every single time, he's just absorbing the pressure, no consequences, doing a really good job of just stopping any of their attempts.
And it all kind of starts in the mid lane too, because FBI has full prio in mid lane. DSG are like down a piece in their chess game here that they're trying to play on the map. So you're like, okay, maybe we try and make a counterplay on the other side of the map. Well, we're going to be down one person because FBI already pushed in mid lane and we're kind of collecting there. So we're going to be late, even if we do try and do a cross play. And it just, the pressure just continually spills over to the other sides. It's going to be very hard for them to catch these leads. I mean, it's 1,000 gold lead, not only for FBI, but also for River individually on the Jarvan. And that started very early on with the CS in jungle, really creating a difference there as well.
And I love the Sundered Sky power spike on Jarvan, because you already have that extra powered first hit with Martial Cadence. Then you put the Sundered Sky bonus on it. That first bop with that spear hurts like crazy, man. This guy is in a great spot to continue accelerating the pace of this game. You talked about at the start the price that eXyu is paying for trying to track him, losing out on his own opportunity to keep high tempo, to keep clearing through his camps. And now we're seeing the results of that. River was not adequately shut down. He was constantly farming. He's up all this gold. Now if you're Sejuani, you're sweating.
Yeah. Definitely are. And then there, as we look at this possible mid play, Quid was looking for a flank on the side there too. But I mean, the top play too, where eXyu was there first technically. You know, he was in the lane brush waiting. It's just that then River came straight up through the river and had an easy setup with the Karma tether, and it was just like got handed to them, and it was another like near miss there for DSG. Now, as the Dragon is available and 100 Thieves have control of all the vision leading towards the Dragon, looks like they once again are fighting for the minion wave in mid lane first, before they rotate on over.
River doing a good job just trying to annoy these guys a little bit, throwing the flag down, getting some vision with that. Now deciding, okay, we've got control, wave is shoved up, let's go ahead and start up the Drake. Sniper's applying the pressure to Abbedagge down in the bottom lane at the same time. And it looks like Disguise, despite the fact that they're wanting to move up, are having a hard time doing so. Quid has stolen away the enemy Sejuani ulti from eXyu, immediately fires it off, and now they're going to find the engage right back onto the enemy jungler, and eXyu is already down. Huhi on the front line is about to fall as well, but at least Castle has taken River back the other way. Abbedagge into the back line looking for FBI. That'll be a 1-for-1 trade too. There are bodies dropping left, right, and center, but 100 Thieves the winner. Disguised has lost so many men, and 100 Thieves win another team fight.
Yep, they're going to be able to take the extra pressure on bottom side of the map. I mean, it was a good realm warp. So the early arrival of the Ryze here, the extra couple seconds afforded to them, is going to be quite nice. You know, Abbedagge is actually walking around, goes for the realm up here, right away from Sniper, who was almost about to get Mega. And so he gets in the back, where you've got Jhin on the front side, ultimate firing away, and then Abba here trying to make sure they can get this big shutdown cash in. But then you still have to deal with Sniper once he finally does arrive, as well as Quid, who was basically free there in the middle of the fight. So even though they got like their objective of getting the shutdown onto FBI, like you're saying, you know, they still end up losing out on the map because of the extra chase down kill and bomb sign getting pushed in. However, the Dragon wasn't picked up in the aftermath, so at least they didn't lose out on the Drake.
Yeah, and now with the Herald alive, that means the neutral objective attention is going to be focused on that other side of the map instead. Sniper, once again, just being the one who has to play the protagonist from an 80s action movie role, where you got to fight multiple people at once, just sort of do your best with it, fall back a little bit. Disguised, they will have enough pressure to be able to force down this tier 1 turret. Because their opponents in 100 Thieves have decided to focus on the Rift Herald, it also means that Disguised should be able to take this second Drake as well. But Kobe, it comes at a cost, and that cost is the top lane tier 2 turret. FBI, Eyla, and Quid working to bash this one down with their 5 Void Grubs, and I don't think Castle can say anything about it.
Yeah. he can say, please stop.
They will say, nope.
No, thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is always the idea, right? 100 Thieves, well...
Ooh, nice engaged from River, but there's no follow-up from anybody else. He goes in for the 1v2. huhi dies to the Dragon Strike at the very end. ScaryJerry barely getting away. Meanwhile, Quid versus Castle in the enemy jungle as the curtain call opened, but it doesn't get a whole lot of anything. Abbedagge, what are you doing? He goes on a realm warp straight to hell. There's no way back. eXyu falls at the same time, disguised, looking so disjointed, and 100 Thieves are eager to punish it. They drop the Herald, they take the tier 1 mid, and they're gonna slam it straight into the tier 2.
Yeah, they don't care about dragons because they care about getting rich, Flowers. They got money. They got the Void Grubs and they got the Heralds. Those things turn into gold from turret plates and towers themselves, and we're only 18.5 minutes into the game, and they've already taken secondary turrets in both mid and top lane after these plays. So here's another look at River full sending, gets the double ulti here, locking both huhi and ScaryJerry up, and huhi's not going to be able to get out alive. Then you're like, oh, what are they doing here? They're just desperately like looking for some sort of pick. Quid was a really good flash. He dodged away from the Ambessa ultimate. So the Jhin shots go wide, he flashed to the Ambessa ultimate, and Abbedagge's like, okay, well, now I'm in deep trouble.
Yeah, that realm warp was not it. And then eXyu still hanging around afterwards. It just felt like everybody on Disguised trying to salvage something, trying to get something back, and there was just never really an open window.
They're pretty desperate because they could see how quickly the gold lead for 100 Thieves was ballooning off of the top side objectives with the Grubs and the Herald and all the kills racking up and that turning into tower gold. You know, the early dragons really mean very little in this game now.
Yeah,
because so much gold is traded for those early on that then you can never fight the later dragons. Like 100 Thieves are so rich now, the item advantages are just going to be way too big. And so, I mean, almost over 7,000 gold as soon as this tower goes down here.
Yeah.
400 Thieves, the giant advantage. And so then they get to do their split push with Sylas and Gnar being very confident and Jarvan having a lot of extra pressure on any of those, like pick-off attempts. So definitely a very, very nice setup now for 100 Thieves. And we actually see the recall. He was thinking about going for a play, Quid.
Well, here's the play that we're going to see instead. He misses the close range E, so Abbedagge having the opportunity to get some good damage down here as now he's going to escape, recognizing, hey, there's probably help coming. He doesn't want anything to do with River. This Jarvan that we talked about back in Champ Select really paying off for 100 Thieves. 10 out of 10 kill participation, just running the game from start to finish. Max range chains of corruption onto ScaryJerry from FBI. ScaryJerry flashing over the wall. River smites him down like the chicken camp. Now huhi's going to die right after, and 100 Thieves just added 2 more.
The rarely seen Jhin camp, Flowers. Yeah. I like that.
It's worth so much money, too.
River gets in there, takes his Jhin camp on his full clear, is just going to end it up by the Otacon.
Just cycling him, man. Yeah. Just cycling it. And they're right up to the Otacon, immediately ready to jump onto this, only a minute after it spawns.
Credit to, like, prepping the Jhin camp to FBI, of course. With he pulled the camp for him. He simultaneously, like, hit his own ultimate snipe onto ScaryJerry, but then he also sidestepped the Sejuani ult that came out of the brush towards him. So pretty smooth moves there from FBI as well, but more hilarious moves from River. So.
The smite was so good.
It's funny too because he just stands there as soon as he gets over in the camp and he's just standing there.
Especially because Jarvan's idle animation is he just stands there with his stick, just waiting, and he just smite the guy down. I don't know about you, but as a jungler, one of my favorite things since they added the ability to smite enemy players is those rare occasions where you do get to kill them with the smite.
And that's the key, is it's so rare because it does pitiful damage.
Yeah, it does like 100 damage. It's so useless.
It's absolutely pitiful damage now. So when you do actually get those, it's quite meaningful.
Yeah, it feels good, especially when you're already, still by the way, 100% kill participation, running the game like he is. 2, 1, and 10 on the Jarvan. Has his second item fully completed there in the Black Cleaver. And now 100 Thieves powered up with the Voracious Otacon with the false life buff. Pedal to the metal.
Also, Quid ticked his Rod of Ages over, so he's level 16 Sylas already.
Oh, huhi going in, nice engage into FBI, but where's the follow-up damage? It's only eXyu into the back line, and Eyla's got all the peel in the world to keep his AD carry alive. Huhi's already down. It's a double kill back over to FBI. They tried, but they died. Disguised is gone. This fight is nothing but disaster. A triple kill over to FBI as Castle still standing, but the only one in Disguised colors to do so, and Sniper secures the ace.
Yep, and all they used, a bunch of Guardian Angels there.
Oh no.
The Otacon, False Lives for 100 Thieves. Very successful use of their Otacon buffs. Nice 11,500 gold lead by 23 minutes.
Feels good, man.
Easy work for the Thieves in this game. They're Angry Flowers. I mean, coming into this one, it was definitely only going to go one way. I mean, look at that. It's a level 9 versus a level 16. That is just not fair. Teleport comes in. It does, like, they get at least popping some of these buffs is kind of decent. But, like, I mean, there's all these things like Castle's ultimate there. The Ambessa barely does not reach. It wasn't able to pick off that one. So, eventually, at least they end some of those refreshes. But, I mean, both of these teams today we're coming in, off of their kind of back-to-back losses that they had received yesterday and then even last week, also coming in with them. So a lot of stuff here for them to try and clean up, and 100 Thieves looks like they came in a little angry.
Yeah, 100 Thieves definitely wanting to even up that win-loss record. You could see River forcing the Realm Warp out of Abbedagge there. When your Ryze has to run from the enemy jungler in a 1v1, that Ryze is not set up for the type of split-pushing win condition that you draft him for.
Now, not necessarily.
It's a little bit of a tough one.
Quid also has 10 stacks on his Dark Seal, so I'd like to see a Medjai's upgrade.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
Get the book.
He's
the
got
book.
like
Why not?
the like bruisery build here, with the Rod of Ages, with the Rift Maker, and it already has the safety of an Arm Guard. So like you're so safe at upgrading that Medjai's. Like I don't think there's very much risk at all that you're going to lose any pages if you author that book.
I agree. I think it's book time. That's the next item that I want to see in Quid's inventory. But FBI did go fishing there with the Chains of Corruption. You saw as they were trying to contest the enemy chicken camp. Yes, they steal the chickens, but the chains just not quite finding the target as 100 Thieves still playing aggressive, moving up, trying to force Disguised back out of their own jungle. The thing is, 100 Thieves, they don't have anything left to take that's not in the enemy base. So Disguised just trying to turtle up and hold the line. Yeah, Baron would be the, that's how you break through that line. And it looks like that is the plan now as River and Sniper started out.
Yeah, that Baron looking nice and juicy. They want to take more lives. They want to take more DSG lives. And so they are kind of looking around here for a pick.
Well, Eyla and FBI are just running interference, keeping eXyu away. The Sejuani Baron steal is kind of like the only last prayer for the dying here for Disguise, but Quid and FBI stepping up. eXyu wants to go in after the enemy Varus, but he ain't gonna find him. Castle's into the back line, but so much damage already onto huhi, and Sniper is on a rampage as FBI flashes over the wall to get away from the Ambessa, but a beautiful shot from ScaryJerry shuts him down. Abbedagge escapes with the Realm Warp, but Sniper is still waiting. Nice engage coming out from River, locking him up in the Cataclysm, and Abbedagge finally gonna fall. Sniper going unstoppable. It's another one dead on Disguise's side. It's still, though, one of the better trades they could have asked for. Yes, they still lose 2 in exchange for 1, but FBI had a bounty. Castle trying to take the tier 1 turret now, at least get something back. Quid stealing away the public execution. Nice sidestep there from Castle to make sure that he gets away, but Sniper is here to cut off his escape route, jumps right back over him to guarantee there's no trade kill.
Yep, there's no way he's getting that turret, but they're scrambling. DSG trying to scramble here, even though they're so far down. Do like the attempts at least to create some action here. They're not going down without a fight. They scrap it out here through the jungle. At least they were able to kill FBI again, who had re-achieved a new bounty. So it was another little shutdown there at least. But yeah, it's obviously is a very long way to go. So even if you get that shutdown, it's still going to be greatly in favor of 100 Thieves, who can just continually reset up around that Baron. They have so much mobility. They are ready to turn off of Baron and continually look for the picks when you come to contest that Baron. Plus, they don't actually take all that much damage from it either.
No.
And they can easily restart. So let's see, though. Pushing out through mid once again. They spend their cash one more time. And now looking to, I mean, a good replacement of vision here from DSG too. If they keep on replacing and then try and play a little defensively.
And fortunately for them as well, because the shutdown on FBI was from ScaryJerry's snipe, that means that you get the money on your Jhin. ScaryJerry now, with the Infinity Edge completed, he's got 3 items. Normally 3-item Jhin, you're like, okay, we're feeling pretty good. 3-item Jhin, that's strong. Problem is, you're staring down the barrel of a nearly full build Varus, so it's still a pretty rough situation. As 100 Thieves not wanting to start up the Baron again just yet, instead hoping that Disguised will get a little bit too anxious, step forward a little bit too far, as huhi, the one in danger now. River with a smite to slow him down. And now the Neeko trying to go in for a flash pop blossom. Looks to set it up for FBI to get caught, but it ain't going to work. River at least getting shut down by Abbedagge as Castle goes back over the wall trying to stay alive. He disrupted the backline long enough so that they could at least get the kill on the enemy jungle.
That's actually positive for DSG.
Yeah.
That is a positive trade. Trading away your Neeko for the kill onto River. DSG patiently, they replaced their vision, they played defensively through their own jungle, and it doesn't like move the needle a lot in the game, Flowers,
but it was a positive trade.
Yeah, it's like a very small W, but it is a W.
Lowercase w, still W.
Uh-huh.
Now, the problem is,
W.
it did cost them 2 flashes, one of which is massively important in the Neeko in terms of being able to have efficacy there in the team fight. Sniper in the enemy jungle trying to steal away that red buff, not going to happen as eXyu just smites it. Quid is in the other side of the enemy jungle. Looking around here, is going to spy out that Jhin trap.
I think you're right. I think I may even downgrade that. It's not even W anymore. Oh, those flashes actually just
they matter a lot.
They matter even more.
They matter a lot.
Can't even get
sorry,
the micro,
buddy.
Can't even get the micro W.
I'm sorry, man. It's just it's one of those like you shrink the font down to like the smallest.
Like, we're doing the vision test. I can't even see it anymore.
Yeah. You're trying to read the bottom line of the chart.
He's on the run.
Huhi. There's no flash to try to get away from this. Quid, though, is going to get stopped, at least for a little bit, by eXyu. Steals away the Sejuani ulti. Disguised scrambling to protect their support, get him out of danger. Meanwhile, Sniper just going to solo out another Ocean Drake. So 100 Thieves now tied at 2 Drakes to 2. Honestly, credit to Disguised for stalling out things as long as they have. It feels like 100 Thieves have kind of hit a roadblock from a game that was very quickly just steamrolling Disguised.
What do you do when you hit a roadblock, Flowers?
Go through it.
Exactly. That'll start Baron. Just start up Baron.
Just drive through the thing. And it looks like what 100 Thieves is about to try and do here and now. eXyu wants to get in there and look to contest it, but instead, Quid running interference. He goes into the back, trying to stop the Baron attempt as eXyu is likely going to get killed here. Nice Mega Gnar into the wall, comes out from Sniper. He's going godlike. The Baron's about to drop as they might get 1 kill back. Sniper trying to get away from it, but he is shut down ultimately by Castle, who will fall to FBI. This should be the end of it as River continues to charge forward towards the Disguised carries, but at least they do enough damage now that he does not get to just run them down. It's 3 dead on Disguised for only the Sniper kill back on 100 Thieves, and now they've got everything they need to keep this push going.
Yep, 100 Thieves break through the roadblock. Now with Baron empowered 4-wheel drive, they're going to destroy your base.
And there it is, Quid knocking down that top lane tier 3. FBI and Eyla will take out mid lane inhibitor at the same time. So 1 dead inhib, 1 exposed inhib, and we've got the minion wave pushing up the bottom lane as well. Disguised, at least they're respawning now before any more damage happens to the base, but still 4 out of 5 players on 100 Thieves with the Baron buff. They're going to reset. They've still got this for the next couple of minutes. You know that this next push is probably the end of the game.
Yes, sir. All right, Disguised. How hard can you pray in this defense?
That is a 4,000 individual gold lead in the jungle role. That is not a common occurrence.
But eXyu did just finish his 2nd item.
All right.
The unending despair is complete.
That is an appropriate item thematically for the current state of the game for Disguised. This is just so tough to play.
Is it though? Because I think it might end soon.
Well, ooh, I think that actually might even cut more. Yeah, that's
ending despair.
Ooh. Well, we've got that push that I was talking about starting right now. FBI and Eyla just escorting the wave forward as Quid and Sniper are already in the enemy base, looking for the opportunity to make some kind of a dive happen if Disguise try to defend this last remaining tier 3 turret that is already down. Quid with a stolen pop blossom jumps in. ScaryJerry nearly killed immediately. Huhi with a nice counter blossom, but it ain't gonna matter. They're too far behind. Sniper eating some damage here from the curtain call, but he's not gonna fall just yet. One shot left in the chamber as Castle goes into the back line looking for FBI yet again, but they're just so far behind. They don't have the damage. They scramble to try to defend. They're using everything already, and 100 Thieves continues their push with the 2 Ocean Dragons in the pocket to keep them extra healthy. Castle now so low, has to go back to the fountain and heal back up again as 2 Baron-empowered cannon minions are about to destroy the first Nexus turret. One more volley and it drops. Now the final inhibitor is going to fall up there in the top lane, and 100 Thieves looking for the throat of Disguise. 33 minutes into the game, eXyu charging forward after Quid, tries to lock him up and burst him down, but it's a level 18 Sylas, misses the point blank E, but it doesn't matter. Castle shot straight through the heart trying to dive in towards FBI. eXyu falls next. Abbedagge is about to drop. 100 Thieves full sending it all the way, and there it is, game over. 100 Thieves win it 28-6.